Good morning, all. Here we are on a Sunday. Now, I'm going to remove the IGBT power device, three-phase bridge, from this power board right here. And I picked the worst example I could choose. This is a blown up drive. It's got a bad IGBT in it. You can see where it shot back up into the firing channel. This drive is not going to get fixed. We throw it in the back, use it for parts. The IGBT is shorted. Here we have a board that's in the way of the gates. We have wires that are in the way of UVW, L1, L2, and L3. We have a relay right here that's in the way, a capacitor that's in the way of these connections over here. This is your plus bus and bus ground connections. And the only ones that I can get on easily are these ones over here on this side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my solder sucker to get as much solder off of those solder points as I possibly can. And then I'm going to use this Chipquik and flow that on all of the solder pads and IGBT pins, and continuously go around heating up all of the points until I free up that IGBT from the power board. This is Chipquik SMD 16. Alright, let's get started. You want to turn your iron up as high as it will go, because these thick traces will absorb all the heat from your soldering iron tip. You wet that sponge, and I'll get the gates first. Those are always the easiest. Well, maybe. Alright, we've got as much solder off of those solder pins as I can. We're going to apply rosin-flux to heat that tip up. And this will help the Chipquik to flow. I'm going to do every pin. Turned around. Be the best way to do this. There we go. Now, go around and start applying heat. Get these wires out of the way if I can. Once you start, you don't want to stop. Be patient. This takes a long time. In a little bit, I'll take a screwdriver between the IGBT and the power board. Get this turned around. Get up in there. With the screwdriver, I'll start prying away the IGBT from the power board. I've got to get this Chipquik heated up. Get you a big screwdriver like this with a wide blade. Go up in here. Turn this way. You're still in the board. And what I'm doing is while I'm heating up the Chipquik, I'm turning the screwdriver side to side. Come on now. Slipped out. Be patient. It takes a while. It's starting to give way. That one corner's coming down. Let's get this side. Let's go out here. Let's get this side. Coming down. Let's move over to this side. Come on, don't be stubborn. I've almost got this side. Back to that side. Poke me with the screwdriver, people. One last corner. One last corner. It should drop out very soon. While I was over there on the other side, this side, set up. See if I can get it with my hand. Oh, doggone it. Back to this side, way back up here. The vias. Okay, this is the last side right here. So I'm wiggling the IGBT. There it is. We got it. Whew. How long did that take? Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to take solder wick and we're going to wick out the Chipquik. You don't want to use your solder sucker on that Chipquik. That will jam up your solder sucker. So, just be aware of that. Add some flux to the solder wick. The flux helps the Chipquik flow up into the solder wick. This is tedious work right here. Have to have a lot of patience to do this. How long did it take us to get that IGBT off the board? I don't know. It took a while. Once you get started on that, heating up that Chipquik, don't stop. Don't let that Chipquik cool down. You'll have to reheat it. Stay at it. Twisting the screwdriver between the power board and the IGBT, and eventually the Chipquik will take over and allow that IGBT to be removed from the vias of the power board. About the time you want to give up is about the time it comes out. So stay with it. I like coming in here on the weekend, and you got the silence. Phones aren't ringing to ask you questions. You can sit here and enjoy your work. I like doing this kind of work. Every now and then it gets a little bit aggravating, but usually it's a nice bit of work. I've been doing this for quite some time. You'd think after all that time it would have got easier. No, it ain't got easier. Everything's gone surface mount. And my eyes are fuzzy up this close. I gotta wear glasses. And then sometimes I gotta put the magnifying glasses on when I'm soldering that surface mount IC to a board. I imagine some of y'all out there know exactly what I'm talking about with that surface mount. They don't make it easy, do they? It's nice that the devices have gotten smaller. But on the other hand, it's a little bit aggravating when you can't get your soldering iron onto the pins without soldering two pins together. We almost got all the Chipquik removed. After this, we'll go over and clean the rosin-flux off the board. Now you're probably wondering why I'm doing all this on a board that's never going to get repaired. Well, it's to let you see how to properly remove that Chipquik and what all is involved. I mean, I could have stopped right there at removing that IGBT, but that's not the end of it. The end of it is we have to clean up our mess. We have to clean up our mess and prepare the board for installation of a new IGBT. There we go. Get enough out of this one. A little bit more of that Chipquik left down in there. There we go. Now we're done. We'll clean the rosin-flux from the board and we'll be done. Now, if y'all was to continue on, what you'd have to do is you'd have to repair this blown trace, and I doubt if anybody's going to do that. It looks like you got 6 diodes down there, surface mount diodes. They're all shorted. The traces down to the gates of the IGBT are blown. this optocoupler right here, the output side of that optocoupler, TLP350, is probably smashed, so you'd have to replace that. Well, let's go and we'll clean up the board, get the flux off the board, and that'll be the end of this one right here. All right, let's go over to the cleaning station. There we go. All done. All right, all. Thank you very much for stopping by and seeing the hardest, easiest way to get an IGBT off a power board. Gotta do what you gotta do, eh? Nice. That cleaned up very nicely. Can you all see that? There we go. Let's head to the hooch.